I want to hear you try to tie in Elton John with Crevasse. I want to hear the explanation of that. Here's our Red Terran player. He's pretty good.
I am MVP.
What else can you say about this guy? I mean,
Yeah,
man, he's
pretty good.
a nice haircut. Nice haircut, MVP. All right, there is our Blue Terran player. He's also pretty good, but is he good enough?
TSA lane.
We're going to find out. He certainly kept up with MVP in that first game for quite a while.
Yeah, he actually traded blows pretty evenly for most of the game there.
Yeah, thanks to LG, Intel, and G-Skill for sponsoring the GSL. Huge props to them. Gas first for Reign, so probably Banshees. In most cases, when you see the Terran player get gas first, they want to get that factory right away. And usually the reason for that is to get the starport right away and then get Banshees possibly with Cloak sometime.
Yeah.
There are some other openings, but in general, probably Banshees.
I think MVP is going to CC first. He's saving up minerals. He's
Really?
not sending out an SCV to produce a barracks or anything
think
like
you're right.
that. So, yeah, and Reign actually, interestingly, with that barracks, he actually didn't wall off. So
There it is.
MVP might be able to scout this if he sends out an SCV, but he is not scouting yet.
Nope.
Whereas Reign is actually, if you see on the minimap, scouting cross position. Nope, never mind. It's just checking the center.
Now, Crevasse is a pretty huge map, so being that it is so large, that's why you'll see players
Yeah.
able to get away with something like Nexus first, Command Center first, just because there'll be a lot of time before you're really under any pressure in most games. Now, it is always a little bit risky if your opponent decides to go for some sort of really cheesy rush and you go Command Center first. I mean, just ask MC.
Yeah. Ha.
That can not go terribly well sometimes if you go.
MC.
Yep. He's back in Codes, so it's okay.
Yeah.
All is right with the world. Although MVP being in Code is a little bit weird, but honestly, though, that's one of the things that's really exciting to me about the GSL right now is that we're getting to the point where the skill difference between Code A and Code S is not really that big anymore.
Yeah,
So
and also that there's so many players that are of such a high caliber in
Yeah.
Code S that you can't fit them all
right.
into Code S. Some of them have to inevitably. Some very good players have to be into the up and down matches.
Yeah,
at
we're going to
least.
see this a lot more often. Then you've got a lot of great players that just haven't gotten a shot yet at GSL. Look at MVP Violet. First season he gets in, right into Code S right away. SCV doing some scouting. I believe he saw pretty much everything.
And oh wow, Reign is actually building Hellions.
Oh, really? Maybe, I think he's just trying to squeeze one Hellion out before the tech lab. Sometimes people do that.
Yeah, you're right. He did that, and
right.
his SCV is going to get in and scout the single gas now.
Did he see the buildings?
If he was
though?
really clever,
Oh,
he didn't see the buildings. If he's really, really clever, he could have clicked on that refinery to see how much gas had been taken up.
Yep, that's right.
I'm not sure if he would have done that in the moment he had to see everything. But Starport landing on the tech lab is going to start building Banshees immediately.
Doesn't look like he's getting cloak, though.
No cloak with only the one gas.
Yep.
And yeah, he didn't see anything, so MVP is completely in the dark. He has 4 Marines on the map right now, and he's building a reactor, so he's actually only going to have 6 to 8 Marines to his name when that Banshee starts heading towards his natural.
Yeah, luckily that Banshee isn't going to have cloak. That's going to be kind of his big saving grace, I guess you could say. And MVP is the type of player, too, that in a TVT, you can kind of make general assumptions about, what you're going to be facing. Sometimes what you don't see says just as much as what you do see.
Yeah. Sometimes a lack of picture is worth 1,000 words also, and
That's
that
right.
comm scan was worth 10,000
Wow.
words because it just explained the entire life history of Reign to MVP, showed them exactly what's going on,
Right.
saw the starport flying off the tech lab, knows a Banshee's on the way, and also saw the future tech.
Told him what his birthday was, what hospital he was born in, what he likes to eat as a midnight snack. I think it's probably Pop-Tarts. Here comes the Banshee for Reign, though. And MVP does not have a lot of Marines, just like he said, so this Banshee is going to be able to cause some damage.
Wow.
More Marines coming in right now. No stim either. And Reign really microing pretty well.
Maybe MVP shouldn't have made any assumptions about his midnight snacks because he is caught a little bit off guard regardless of the information he received. This Banshee is up to 6 kills, 7 kills, 8 kills, and the number keeps going up, but he might lose it if he's not careful. And he micros every Marine. There are 0 Marines on the map for MVP.
Oh, but here comes the Viking. That is it. Goodbye, Banshee. You made it to Sergeant.
Sometimes a
But now-
Viking is worth 1,000 Marines.
That's right. It can be, theoretically. 1,000,000 Marines, even.
My kingdom for a horse, Viking.
My kingdom for a mule. For those of you who don't know, Banshees outrange Marines by 1. So with
Yeah.
very, very careful micro, you can pick off essentially an infinite number of Banshees. Now, nobody's really going to be able to actually physically do that, just because you need to be doing other things in StarCraft than microing Banshees.
Well, the Terran with the Marines would have to put their Marines at the edge of the cliff so they could barely not reach. But if they micro them back, yeah. Because they do pause for a moment when they're firing, and that's when the Marines can get shots off. But it looks like a drop is being loaded up for Rain. He's got a sizable amount of Marines and a single Hellion. He's going to try and go in here and roast some SCVs. MVP
This could
sees
be
it
some
and
damage.
attacks with it, which is probably not the best idea.
All
Loses
the
a few
lining up.
SCVs.
Medevacs are going to be taken out by the Viking. Oh, the Viking almost getting taken out by the Marines. And right now, MVP does not have a whole lot to defend this. He needs to bring his SCVs off the line. Hellion getting taken down. Right now, all Marines taking out the Viking as well. And with that medevac, those Marines are going to survive for a long time.
Wow. Yeah.
She shows up though, and Rain will need to run away.
Rain,
Taking away a lot of mining
that was
time,
actually
though.
really cool. He didn't go for many SCVs, but killed all the Marines, which made that drop possible and did a lot more damage because he's had more Marines on the ground than MVP did. Hellion, of course, helping out as well. And at this point, Rain has a sizable supply lead.
Cloak just finishing right now for MVP though. So
Oh, interesting.
that'll give him a chance to get into the base of Rain, do some damage. Up to find out. Turret already going up at Rain's base, so he saw the Banshee. Just wants to stay safe. Usually if Banshees do come a little bit later in the game, there's a good chance that Cloak is going to be along with it.
Perfect turret timing.
Yeah.
He's going to get pushed back. He's going to have to cloak to kill. Oh, he doesn't cloak to save the Banshee.
Nope. Good chance he was within range of that turret too. Those turrets have huge range. So MVP not really able to get any traction in this game just yet. Rain about 20 supply ahead, 5 ahead in the worker count, so not quite as much. MVP just might decide to pull back, play defensive, and get another base right now. That'd be a very MVP thing of him to do.
Yeah. Now, your monitor's actually cut off, but he's actually not that far ahead in supply. Only about 5 right now. So.
Yeah.
But in any case, it looks like Rain is just going to fall back here.
I like this. He's kind of camping out outside the third base. He knows MVP.
Yeah.
Probably wants to expand. That's the place now. Oh, the Viking.
Man.
Not involved because that was
MVP having no luck with his Banshees there.
No, not at all. And, you know, we did see MVP taken down by Bomber, so he is vulnerable. He's got his Achilles heel, if you will.
Oh, he's going to load up, try and ferry up to the high ground. He can siege up on the low ground with the tanks to protect his Marines. And the turret barely does not complete.
And those Marines getting wasted by the tanks.
Oh, man.
He's taking out some Marines by MVP, though. Here's the Banshee. And is Rain going to be able to take it out? He moves some Marines in and takes some big hits from the tanks. MVP under a lot of pressure right now, but then again,
yeah, they're both
not taking too much damage.
They're both even in economy right now, about even in army. It's just kind of a macro slugfest here, but Rain is putting the pressure on and
here he
zips down and
comes.
picks off the tank first. That was almost dead, and then goes for the Marines. So nicely done. MVP is going to clean that up.
Yeah.
And Rain is forced to, well, I would say fall back, but he doesn't have anything to fall back with, I guess,
Nope.
except for the Vikings.
Forced to just accept defeat. Bitter defeat in the base of
Oh, and he's actually
I'm MVP.
got those Vikings just chilling there for some reason.
Yeah, those actually might get taken out by Marines. In fact, one is, and the other one maybe. I don't know. Rain trying to take the middle of the map right now. If you can get control of the middle of the map on a map like Crevasse, you can really take a lot of bases much, much more safely. Of course, against MVP, you do always need to worry about drops. But
Yep, and of course MVP has already taken the third. So he is going to be able to get ahead in that, theoretically.
Mortal Kombat. When one unit fights another unit Moltrap, it is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
That's right. And not just because one is staying because he wanted to get like a sandwich or something.
That's right.
He's not leaving because he's dead.
2 men enter. 1 man leaves to go watch TV instead of being there.
2 Marines walk
It's
into a
not
bar.
as hardcore. 2 Marines walk into a bar.
They don't feel anything because they're wearing mechanical suits, so that bar doesn't do a lot of damage. They're fine.
Yes, their armor is too high.
That's right.
The DPS of the
They need to duck.
bar is too low. So MVP's going to push out here. He's got a lot of tanks, 5 tanks and a lot of Marines. And might get caught out of position though. Siege on the high ground. He doesn't know it's there. Oh, takes a little damage. Now he knows it's there.
And siege up kind of late right now for MVP, but luckily the Marines for Rain were not in position.
Yeah, Rain just trying to get some lucky shots there. He knows he doesn't have the bigger army though, so he is falling back a little bit.
Yep, both players working on their upgrades as well right now. +1 armor, about the same rate for each player, about 2/3 of the way done right now.
Yep.
And an armory did just finish for Rain, so he'll be working on his +2/+2 once 1-1 finishes.
Yeah, they both have their +1 weapons as well, so MVP keeping up in the upgrades this time around.
Do either of them have vehicle upgrades yet?
I don't believe so.
Doesn't
No,
look
they don't.
like it, not yet. Upgrades are so important in any mirror matchup. You can take a similar sized army, which a lot of times you'll have due to both players' macro being pretty even, and make that one army that's got the same number of units stronger than the other one. Upgrades a very important thing.
Yeah, it looks like Rain was thinking about dropping there, but there is a sensor tower and a couple tanks in position, so not going to do any good.
Now Rain trying to sneak around the outside, and if he can get in a good position, this could do some damage, but MVP is ready for him. Great scan on the high ground. Here come the Marines. He's catching some of the siege tanks, but no, all the Marines come back, and MVP needs to pull back to stay safe.
Yeah, Rain's tanks got a little bit too low on hit points.
Yep.
A couple got polished off. Again, trading blows pretty evenly though. And Rain does have his 3rd up now as well, so they're about even in harvesters and income.
Yeah, TVT is really like the boxing match of StarCraft, and it can go for a lot of rounds. Players just basically trade punches until eventually one is worn down.
Yeah.
A lot of these macro TVTs.
Yeah, usually though, it's like, you know, they take shots back and forth, and oh, picks up a Viking. Usually they kind of take shots back and forth, and they wear each other down slowly, but in this case,
nice
hold
drop
on that
from
thought.
MVP.
There's a drop going down. It's going to probably take out some SCVs. Medevac going to keep those Marines alive long enough to do major damage.
Yeah.
But in any case, this match is more like, you know, everyone blocking each other's blows, and then at the end, one punch, one big KO takes out the other one. That's what game 1 looked like, at least.
They just must not play Mortal Kombat, otherwise they would know that the strongest punch in the world is the uppercut. Knocks people about 8 feet into the air every time.
Now MVP has taken a lead. He has been able to get his macro going because he got his 3rd up earlier. So he is at a sizable 20 plus lead in the supply at this point.
Nice
And, but he
drop.
might lose some of that. Nice drop.
I love it.
Taking out a few tanks.
So good.
And he's going to save that medevac.
Maybe not. Nope.
Nope.
MVP losing some Marines as well, though.
Wow, that was huge. He actually just evened things up. MVP was way ahead in tanks, and now he's behind by 1.
You know, Rain is really impressing me. I have not seen him play this well in a long time.
I was not
honestly.
expecting this, I admit it.
Yeah. And MVP is doing all the things that MVP usually does. He's dropping, he's got good positioning, great macro. He's ahead on bases right now. Slightly ahead, I should say, just because, as we can see right now, Rain getting his 4th going. But here's an army for MVP.
Whoa.
Can he take out the 4th base? Oh, the tanks are not sieged up. Huge advantage for MVP right now.
Rain trying to come down, but the tanks get sieged just in time. And Rain's going to throw away his 4th and go ahead and trade and go for the counterattack. I don't think this is a good idea. MVP's actually picking up some of his forces while he kills off the orbital. And there's Rain's counterattack.
Oh, he's got SCVs ready to defend. Here they come. Drops coming in from Rain, keeping the SCVs from getting to the tanks. Brilliant move by TSL Rain. And he is just barely not going to be able to clean this up.
Wow,
But nice
there's
try.
GG.
Wow, MVP. He held down the down key on his keypad and he pressed high punch. And he uppercutted TSL Rain into
That's right.
Code A. or
MVP's like,
possibly,
oh
we'll
my
find out.
goodness,
at
Kodes,
that.
I've missed you so.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Back again, and I take back what I said a moment ago. TSL Rain not in Code A quite yet,
No.
He's got a chance.
He is going to face Rainbow.
Yep.
And I wonder if Rain, I wonder if Weather Rain or Rainbow will make it. Weather, get it? Weather? Weather, the two spellings.
I see what you did there.
Homophone. And anyway, wow. Rain really impressing me. Lost out on that
despite losing.
That trade. I don't think that was the best idea to trade there.
That's that one mistake. You know, you basically, in a high-level TVT, I would say you get maybe at this point in StarCraft 2, you get maybe one mistake, maybe 2 mistakes per game. You make many more than that, that's it.
If you make many more than that, then it's MMA versus Marine King.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely just made a couple mistakes. He was a little behind in his macro as well, even though their economies were even, and he was a little behind in the macro.
Yep.
But yeah, you cannot. It doesn't matter what matchup it is. If there's a base trade going on, you can't counterattack across the map against a Terran and hope to win that trade. It just doesn't work ever.
And one thing about MVP is he very, very seldom gets himself into those base trade situations if he's not prepared to handle the other army back home.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I don't know if we saw it on the
break,
screen,
though,
but
it looks like.
We saw him load up to go back there. We are going to take a little bit of a break between these series.
See you soon.
We'll see you in a few.